Hey there everybody, my name is Chris and welcome back to Wizard Way. I am live at Hogwarts Castle today. I'm live streaming at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, which is where we have the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade. So welcome to the stream. If anybody joins me today, I'm going to be covering a bit of the House Pride challenges in the Hogwarts Mystery Game. So a bit of tips and tricks and also just a little bit of information because my last video that I posted actually has some inaccurate info in it. So I wanted to set the record straight and also eat my words a little bit. So welcome to the live stream everybody, and let's get started, shall we? So as you probably already know, if you are playing Hogwarts Mystery at the moment, we do have a new House Pride challenge that's going on. So this time it is arch rivals Slytherin against Gryffindor. I can't wait to see how this turns out. Now the House Pride events are wrought with a bit of difficulty. Now, that's not to say that they are difficult to necessarily play, but there have been a lot of problems on Jam City and Hogwarts Mystery's part for these various House Pride challenges. We did do a challenge before where Slytherin was against Hufflepuff and I believe Ravenclaw was against Gryffindor, but now we have the opposite. So it's Gryffindor Slytherin and I presume Hufflepuff against Ravenclaw. The problem with these challenges is Jam City's gotten into a bit of trouble because they have made it so that most of the challenge here is done by artificial intelligence. They make it seem like there is a lot of individual play with other players around the world. If you look at the other tab up here in the challenge, you can see that I am part of a team of 10. I have not done nearly as much as my teammates, but unfortunately, we now know that all of these other players are actually artificial intelligence. They are all AIs. Perhaps not all of them, but the vast majority of them. And I will show you how to check to see if the characters in your game that are on your team are actually AIs or if they are real people. So one way that we were trying to do this before was to rename ourselves. You can actually put in a crazy name like change name if real. That idea came from one of my fellow WooTubers. But the actual easiest way to figure out if your teammates are real or not is to change the language of your game. So easiest way, I'll show you right now, is to go down to the settings at the bottom here, in the bottom corner, and there is a languages tab. If you click on that, you have a bunch of different options for your languages. And basically what I have done since I play my game in English, the easiest thing to do is just change it into Spanish. I at least speak a little bit of Spanish, so if I get stuck, I don't have to press too many buttons. But I speak a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Japanese, but we'll just press Español here. It will restart the game, and then you will get to take a look at the names for your various teammates. Now when you do this, have in mind what the original names were. I didn't really check, but we'll switch back to English and double check. But when the game reloads here, taking its sweet time, if you go back to that tab with multiple people on it, we have Carlos, Andres, Irene, Victor, Patricia, Luelia, Enrique, Luis. These are, you know, very Spanish names, as we would expect. Now, if you change it into other languages, typically the names will also change to match that language. If they change, obviously that's not a real person because your teammate changed their name just because you changed your language. So that is one way of telling that this is artificial intelligence instead of actually being real players, which quite frankly has a lot of us bummed. We were really looking forward to playing with actual other players, you know, people that are around the world that are part of our teams, and it's really sad that we don't get to actually enjoy the game with other players, because then you would be able to hopefully, I don't know if they would put in a chat function or something like that, where you could contact the other people who are automatically populated as part of your team and actually use that as a way of communicating and, you know, trying to get people involved in the game. It would be a lot more fun that way, but that's sadly not the way that Jam City has put it together. So taking another look, we got Luis, Enrique, a lot of typical Spanish names, Carlos, Andres. So if we go back out again and we change this back to English, it's going to reload the game and then we'll double check and see if any of those names are the same. I'm doubting that any of them are, but apparently it sounded like before that some people actually recognized each other, so I don't know if all of the teammates are automatically generated, or if you might be a rare exception where you actually get another player who's a real player that you might know somewhere online. Who knows? But it seems that they are all artificial intelligence. So Carlos is now Carter, Andrew was Andres before, Victor stayed the same, so I'm not sure if that's a real person or not, but Victor can be a very common name in both languages. So no telling, but Autumn, Quinn, Elijah, these are all different. Levi was Luis, so Jacoba or Jacobo was there instead of Jacob. So these names have all changed, which means that they're automatically artificial intelligence. So I have to eat my words. I got all excited in my other video about finally having other players in the game. Unfortunately, I was wrong. I was dead wrong. So I apologize to everybody who probably watched my other video and thought, yay, finally, other players. Nope, unfortunately, that's not the case. So I can only urge Jam City, if you happen to watch this, please give us a way of actually interacting with other players. You know, do an algorithm, find teams of players that play a certain amount that's close to how much we play the game. If you're able to create tiers like that, as far as activity level goes, we would be able to be matched with other players who actually match our average gameplay for a week. And then if you do a House Pride event that lasts a week, we should be relatively well pitted against our other team, and then it would really be a matter of who puts in more effort. But the way that it's set up now, it's basically just a pay-to-play thing. You know, you can do a certain amount, but either way, your artificial intelligence teammates are going to either contribute or not contribute based on whatever algorithm populated your group. But this is also very unfair because if you look at the other team, we have zero control over the other team. I mean, that would be true if we had real teammates, but in this particular case, it's really jarring because there were pictures online of, you know, rival teams that got thousands of points in the other challenges, like way more than would ever be possible unless you were paying hundreds of dollars into the game to advance yourself and get more house points. So this is flawed. It's really flawed. It means that Gryffindor is an artificial intelligence. Practically my entire team, if Victor is a real person, that's awesome, but assuming that Victor is also an artificial intelligence, my entire team is all AI, so it really doesn't matter how much I contribute to this team. And knowing how Jam City typically works, a way to make money on this game would be to constantly have your team either behind, which in this case I'm not, thank goodness, but in the other challenges, my team never came close. I think I ground really hard for a couple days, and my team was still 100 points behind, and we never caught up. The only way that I would have won the last challenge would have been to pay a lot of money into the game, and I'm just not willing to do that. Some players might be. I'm not, and it would be one thing if it were a level playing field. Then I wouldn't feel so bad, you know, shoving a few dollars into the game so that I could advance more quickly and also help my team out. If I knew that my teammates were real and the Gryffindors in this case were also real, I feel that it would be a lot easier to spend money on the game and feel good about the purchase. Versus now, there's no guarantee that even if I did pay money into the game, I would win the house challenge here, the House Pride challenge. So it's a flawed system, and I sincerely apologize for everybody who paid money into the game. So, what on earth is going on behind me? Welcome to live streaming, everybody. I think someone just tried to tip somebody over the edge of the bridge here. I'm sitting on the bridge, like right in front of the castle. I have no idea what just happened behind me. At least everybody's laughing, so it's a good thing. This is what happens when I live stream. Random stuff happens. So hopefully everyone's okay. But yeah, so House Pride Challenge, that's the basic lowdown as far as artificial intelligence goes. I apologize for everybody who thought that these were real players because I said so. I was wrong. So, taking a look at the game now, just as a quick reminder of how to do the House Pride challenges, I did want to cover that again really quickly. The easiest way to get house points in a timely manner is to take 8-hour classes, not 1-hour classes, unless you know that you are not going to be coming back to the game. Then if you have a full energy bar up top over here, you should be able to handle a 1-hour class all on your own without dealing with having to come back. So if you know that you're not going to be tuning into the game very much, then sure, take 1-hour classes and just do it straight through. It takes about 1.5 to 2 minutes, and then you're done, and you can just pick up the game whenever. But if you know that you're going to be checking in frequently, then certainly the best way to get house points is to take 8-hour classes in the game. So in that case, we are prepared. Thank you, Flitwick. And so we are going to click the 8-hour class here and then start. So 8-hour classes are definitely the best way. They get you 10 house points when you complete the class, and if you're really on point and checking back in the game, setting timers for when your energy is going to be all the way back up to level, or if you're just paying attention to your notifications, you can complete an 8-hour class in about 3.5 to 4 hours. So if you're really on point, this is definitely the best way to get the most house points possible. So taking a look, as per usual, we want to look for, oops, I clicked it. We want to look for these little tasks here, the ones that have 5 energy that they take. When you do that, you actually get an extra energy. You only spend 5 energy, but you actually get 6 towards your total, toward the stars. So whenever you see the 5 energy ones, definitely go for them first. And then the best way to try and get the more of the 5 energy tasks is to click around and see which ones are lowest. So if it's 5, go for it, and otherwise go for the lowest amount energy task that you can find, because that will repopulate a new task and you can find another 5 just like that very, very quickly. So, like I said, let's get that 5 out of the way, and we got lucky. There's another 5 right there. So that should be enough for the first star there. And I have plenty of empathy points, and because I'm doing Charms class, I'm going to get even more. So I'm, despite it being a lot fewer points, I'm going to be choosing the Courage there instead of Empathy. And let's focus. Tap. Very simple stuff. I mean, it's basically your normal gameplay, except you just need to be really on task with the classes. Try and get those 8-hour classes done several times a day, and you'll definitely get a lot more house points for it. And that way you don't have to spend any money in the game. But it all depends on how much you want to devote to the game. So that ultimately is the big tip here. For me, I'm at the very beginning of year 3. I just got Herbology, but Charms actually still has a lot more of the 5 energy tasks, so that's what I've been concentrating on. But once you hit year 4 and beyond, year 4 you get Care of Magical Creatures class, and once you have that class you can actually replace Charms class with that. Apparently, I haven't gotten to it yet, but apparently that has more 5 energy tasks than like any other class in the game, so I have heard that that is the best choice if you are past year 4. If you are year 4 or beyond, go for Care of Magical Creatures. Otherwise, go for Charms class and just do 8-hour classes. So that's basically all I had to cover during this live stream. So let's just take a look and see what else is going on here. As far as news goes, there are new pets available in the game. We have seen a lot of different challenges as far as various crest challenges that have been going on, where you can earn notebooks. Notebooks are a new form of currency within the game, and there goes the music in the game, go figure. But they are a new form of currency in the game, and using notebooks you can purchase new pets. Now, the various pets do give you an energy point, but they all vary as far as how quickly they repopulate. So we do have a Kneasel now, which is very cool. I was super stoked when they put Kneasels in the game. That's a new addition. And there was also a spider over here, and you'll notice it has a little check mark next to it. That's because it's not currently available. What Jam City did is they basically put a spider in the game that you could either win through winning your House Pride challenge, which that was the big prize for the entire team. If your team won, you got a spider, which is really cute and awesome. But the problem is that there were so many issues with the House Pride event that I think the vast majority of us did not get the spider. And perhaps that was by design. Jam City is kind of known for a bit of money grabbing, and it was probably by design that we did not get that, because afterwards you then had a special offer going on in the corner here. Let's press it down really quickly. Move. But the specials over here give you various discounts in the game. Now at the time, this one had a spider that you could purchase, because after the House Pride event, anybody who did not get the spider then had an opportunity to buy it. But depending on your game, it was $16.99, $14.99. I saw one that was $24.99, where it was basically the spider and a few gems and perhaps coins as well. But there was no way that it was really worth it. And so I was really, really disappointed to see that sort of tactic used, where we couldn't really win the actual spider, or at least the majority of us probably did not. And then the only way we could get it would be to pay a lot of money into the game. So I'm hoping that they will not follow suit with that. I think that's why when they released the Kneasel into the game, it's a whole different ball game. I was really, really relieved that when they put the Kneasel in the game, it's just straight up in the shop. It's in the shop, you can find it, it's not going anywhere anytime soon, to my knowledge, and it costs a lot of notebooks. So the one good thing about these House Pride challenges is that if you're doing the House Pride challenges, not only do we have the big reward here, but we also have the individual rewards. So looking at this area down here, you do have coins that you can get, but the more house points you get, the more notebooks you can get. And unfortunately, this also varies from game to game. You can either get, in my case, it's 2, 2, and 3. In other games that I saw screenshots of, I think it was like 2, 3, and 5, or I think I saw one that was like 2, 3, and 7 or something. It varies wildly, and that's really, really annoying. I know it's probably Jam City's way of gathering data in the game to see how much various rewards will actually motivate people to play the game, but it's incredibly frustrating for people like me who play pretty frequently. I play every single day, but even playing every day is not going to necessarily guarantee me the best rewards in the game. So it doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason, but various WooTubers have had different rewards through almost every single challenge that's been introduced in the game. So unfortunately, there's no predicting it, but the good thing is this is how you can get all of your notebooks in the game. So, depending on how much time you are willing to spend on the various House Pride challenges and the Crest challenges, most challenges now have the notebooks as a prize. So it is a currency in the game, and they are taking advantage of that. They do give you a lot of opportunities to earn notebooks in the game. So that's the one positive thing I can say, is that there are a lot of opportunities, you just have to put in the hours. And it is hours and hours of work in the game, checking back. Even if it only takes 2 minutes at a time, it's still a lot of time devoted to playing the game. So it just depends on how motivated you are to play and win the prizes. But these at least are guaranteed. This is all personal merit. This is, you put in the time, you get rewards. It has nothing to do with artificial intelligence, it's all on you. And I like that. I like being responsible for myself. And this is part of me being a Slytherin, is I tend to do really well on my own, not quite so good in large groups or as part of a team, because typically I can't rely on other people to pull their weight. So in my case, of course, I say that, and yet I'm 8 out of 10 in my team, but it's because I haven't been able to play the last day. So it's going to be interesting to see how I do in this particular House Pride challenge, but it is a little bit better than the last one. The last one had all 4 teams pitted against each other, and it was just a hot mess. The points that the other teams were gaining were just insane. There seemed to be no rhyme or reason to it, and they were jumping up way faster than my team, like every single time I checked into the game. So it was really frustrating, and I was really determined at the beginning of the event. I was going to hunker down. I was going to really work on my house points and do as many 8-hour classes as possible. I was like, I'm gonna win because I'm competitive. It's part of being a Slytherin. And I really devoted myself for a couple days, and then I realized just how badly stacked the odds were, And it totally demotivated me. I didn't play for like 3 full days during that challenge because I didn't care anymore. I'm not really doing the game for the plot. I slowly progress through the plot, which is why I do a lot of live streams, or at least I intend to now that the weather is a bit cooler here in Florida. But even doing live streams, I'm only in the very beginning of year 3, and everyone else is like, woo, year 5. I haven't even hit the area where you become a prefect, so I'm way behind everybody else. So I'm not doing the game necessarily for the plot element. I think that's fun, and I can take it at my own pace, which I find really enjoyable. But these little challenges that keep you coming back to the game every day, they should motivate you. And I feel that Jam City is not doing the best job of motivating their players because it's not very transparent. If they're putting events up like this that make it look like we're playing with fellow players, I want those players to be real. I don't want them to be artificial intelligence because it means that everything's out of my control. And I can't really just, motivate my fellow players, hey, make sure you play today. It doesn't really matter because one way or another, they're going to stack the odds in their favor and basically the house always wins. It's like gambling. So I don't think that that's the best way to run the game. I am not a part of Jam City, however, and so honestly, they can do whatever they'd like, and they will just honestly lose quite a few players to these practices because either they're going to just play the game casually like I do, or the people who are super competitive are going to be really sick of being gamed by the system, and you're going to lose some of the players. So my goal is to simply enjoy the game for what it is. And that means that, for the most part, I've been ignoring the House Pride events. But I am going to give this one a go because I do need just a few more notebooks before I can get my Kneasel. So that's the goal that keeps me motivated in the game. So everybody just needs to find their own personal goal in the game and go after that. So I'm looking forward to getting more notebooks in this event. Probably not going to get this really this fun outfit, which I'm pretty sure is a take on the Bellatrix Lestrange outfit. So while that is really fun, I can't guarantee that my team is going to win. We're currently in the lead by quite a lot, but honestly, that's all artificial intelligence. So I don't know if they changed their algorithm, but my team's pretty far ahead. So yay Slytherin, beating Gryffindor for once. That's always nice to see. But because it's out of my hands, we're just going to have to see how it turns out. But that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in the live stream, so let's just take a quick look. Go back into Charms class here. I've gained a little bit of energy while we've been waiting, so let's see if we can get through this next star. Awesome, there's a 5 energy task right there. Ooh, this one's 5 too. Getting very lucky with the tasks today. This doesn't usually happen for me. Those are both 3. That one's 2. Always go for the lower one. If there's not a 5 energy task, go for the lowest one possible. It gives you more chances to find another 5. Oh yay, cool. Energy reward there. Never hurts. Your rewards are completely individualistic. You can go for whatever reward you choose. When I'm trying to get as much energy as possible in order to get as many stars and finish classes faster, I do choose the energy if it's available. But I also go for gems as well. Because I'm doing so many classes for these challenges, I don't feel the need to necessarily choose the various attribute points for your courage, your empathy, and your knowledge. They're there, but because I'm taking so many classes anyway, I don't necessarily feel the need to concentrate on those. I tend to go for the gems, or if energy is available, definitely that. Every so often you'll get a reward for 9 energy, and that's a huge time saver, and I definitely choose that one when it pops up. Alright, so we've got 2. Oh, and I'm out of energy. Nope, I'm not paying to play here, so let's get all of our free energy points. I'm very methodical with this. I've done this so many times at this point, I know where all the energy bits are. I still haven't unlocked Hogsmeade though, that's coming later in the year 3 that I'm currently in. Alright. Down to the dungeon. And I'm pretty sure that you can do this in your own game, but whenever I'm in the place that has my natural house entrance, I tend to go into the dormitory and get all of my pet energy done there. It goes a little bit faster that way, if I can see it on my screen. I'm in pretty bright sunlight at the moment, so I'm not being able to look at my screen as easily as I normally do. Alright, down to the castle grounds. We'll hit on the energy for little baby Fang. And down to the final one, which is the books in this corridor. Now, if you have the other areas open, Hogsmeade, there's a kid in the back alley in the distance. You can tap on him to get an extra point of energy. There's a cobweb in the Forbidden Forest that you can tap for energy. So there are a couple others that I don't currently have any access to, but you can go there as well. So now that we've done all of the basic energy freebies here, let's go back into class and see how far we can get. I've got another 10 energy, so that's actually pretty good. So there's a 1 and a 3. Let's do the 1. New one is 4. So 4s, you can usually just ignore them and just choose the other option, whatever pops up, because anything's better than a 4. There we go. There we got a 5 again. Excellent. Looks like I'm not going to quite get my next star there, so only 2 stars in, but even on a live stream I got over 2 stars, and this was me just starting the game for the first time today. So all of my energy points were available. We got a good amount of energy there. So there was 30 energy to start out with because my counter is maxed out at 30 at the moment, and then I got an extra, I think, 10 or 11 points from all of the freebie points. So that's the easiest way to do the game. That is how you do the House Pride challenges. So that's your basic tips and tricks. Definitely do 8-hour classes and just know your goals in the game. I said that in my very first intro video. It's the biggest thing about this game is you really just need to know your goals. Are you going to be going for house points? Are you going to be going for crests or the little tiny rewards that are now part of the various challenges? If you're going for notebooks, then you can get more pets. Just know what your goal is and follow that instead of being really tied to some of the big prizes that are team-oriented, because unfortunately it's not actually a team yet. So perhaps Gem City will make a change. I am sincerely hoping that they will, that this is just a phase, that they are testing out the game in various ways, and that they'll eventually settle on a way that will be real players on real teams with other real players. And so we will actually be able to compete in a fun, competitive way where we're relatively equally matched with other players that play about the same amount that we do. I think that that would be the best way to run these challenges, and it would certainly make me a lot more motivated. And if my house challenge there, if my House Pride challenge was really close at that point, I might spend a little bit of money on the game just to give me a tiny little edge for my team. So I feel that would be a better way of motivating players, and we'll just have to see if that's what happens. There's no way of knowing at this point, so there is a new chapter available for those who are in Year 5, so I hope everybody enjoys that. A little bit of plot progression for us fans, and I hope everybody's enjoying the game, even though it is problematic, admittedly. So I hope everybody has a great time with this, and I guess I will see you guys next time. Nobody on the stream today, but that is okay. I didn't even announce this one. I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to live stream. But today was a gorgeous day here in Florida. It's not hot, it's slightly cloudy, and it's a little bit breezy, which is just perfect. So found a great spot. Had to live stream today, but I will catch you guys later on the channel. I do have some collaborations that are coming up. I have collaborated with both Belle Brita. She's the one who's behind the Harry Potter Witches Unite. Her channel is a lot of fun, and she speaks French, which is super cool. So I will be posting up a potions video. We did Wide-Eye Potion, which is going to be great for anybody who needs to stay awake. So it's going to be an essential oil blend that will help you guys stay awake. It's really invigorating and enjoyable. So I am working on that collaboration video, and I also have a collaboration that I did here at Universal Studios with the lovely Mike and... oh, pardon me. with Mike and Brittany from A Wizard's Guide. So I have the Witches Unite and the Wizard's Guide videos. Both of them will be coming soon on the channel. I will try and get one of those up in the next week for sure. It will definitely take me less than a week, but I am going to be tackling that editing job tonight, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So also definitely stay tuned to Wizard's Guide channel, because I will try and put a card up there for it on the replay of this live stream. But that channel, they're going to be showing a Birdie Bots challenge that we did here at Universal Studios, and it is hilarious. So we took Birdie Bots every flavored beans, and me, them, and their 2 kids, we all tried a bunch of them, and hilarity ensued. So I hope everybody stays tuned for that, and I will see you guys on the channel soon. So everybody take care, and until next time, Knox.